I'm at AAK, and today we are here with professional motor mechanics to test out the AJD Sensor Simulator and wiring harness kit. If you like mechanical content and product reviews and all that sort of cool stuff, like and follow Professional Motor Mechanics magazine. Let's go in the garage and have a look. So here we have it, the AJD Sensor Simulator. It comes in this hard shell box, a really nice professional looking box it comes with. Here it is, the sensor simulator itself. Comes in this foam field, so even when it's in the box, it's been secure. We've got the 12-volt break-off wires that we need to power the unit itself. You've got the up and down, left and right. Really nice basic buttons, a nice little screen there that shows exactly what we need. You can see on the top where you're going to put different types of wires in to actually simulate the sensors. So this is how we're going to connect it to the plugs once we unplug the sensors. It also comes up with a really nice little basic kit here to test some of the sensors, but what I'd really recommend is a diagnostic wire kit, and this again comes in a great hard shell case, but inside is just amazing. Every sort of wire and every test wire that we're going to need to test all different types of sensors. It comes up with all different sizes, all different wires. It even comes out with a complete breakdown of what each wire does, each size, and actually recommendations on how to test certain sensors. We're not going to have to make little wiring jigs up ourselves anymore. We're not going to be using split pins to bridge over wires or testing or back probe pins or cut wires to get sensor readings. This is the full kit. We've not had one sensor since we've had this for the last 5 weeks that we haven't been able to connect to without this sensor. So this really complements the sensor simulator. So I would recommend, if you're going to get the sensor simulator, buy the wiring kit as well, because it is everything you need and more. There's wires in here that I didn't even know that I needed until I've got this kit. So what are some of the things that the sensor simulator can do? It can actually replicate resistance, voltage, sine waves, square waves. This is quite important when we're looking at testing ABS or crankshaft sensors, temperature coefficient sensors, throttle and pedal sensors, and oxygen sensors. So the unit actually, we plug it in and it replicates that sensor by putting a voltage through, by putting a resistance through, or by even putting square waves or a sine wave through the actual wire to the module or to the ECU to replicate that sensor. So what we found is this unit is really good for that first hour of diagnostics when you're just trying to work out what angle I'm going with the car. So by plugging the sensor simulator in and imitating that sensor, we know the wiring is good. So there's no need to test that wire. There's no extra time of adding diagnostics and talk to the customer being unsure, because we've sent a good signal through that wire, and that good signal is being picked up in the ECU that we can see on the diagnostic equipment. We know the issue is around this area. So it's a really quick and easy way to diagnose and kind of pinpoint the area that you need to look at. Okay, so we're on the workshop floor now. We've got the car here. I've picked a Ford EcoBoost to test these. They're in all the time. One of the tests we're going to do today is test the crankshaft sensor. Once we've got the car up in the air, we'll find the crankshaft sensor and we're going to unplug the sensor wires from the sensor itself. Once they're unplugged, that's when the simulator is going to start working. We're going to get the simulator. We're going to work out how many wires are going to go into the plug, put the ignition on the car. We're all plugged in now, so the sensor simulator is plugged in. The unit's on, we can click OK. The signal now is going to go from the sensor simulator through the wire to the module of the car. That then, if the module is OK, then going to send a signal to the dash to say that the car is revving. So on here we've got a set measurement that's going to give us about 800 revs. That's it. So let's have a look in the car now, and you should see that the actual engine revs have gone up to about 800 revs. So now we can go back to the office. We can say with confidence that we know that the wiring is good. We know that the module is good because we've sent that signal all the way through the wire, through the module, and we're getting a reading on the dash. So we've got a second car in now with an ABS fault. What we're going to do is we're going to investigate the fault using the sensor simulator. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually get the ABS sensor unplugged. We're looking at the drive shaft. We can see that it's got a square waveform because it's got that ABS ring on the front. So looking on the wiring diagram, we know that we're going to need to pin the yellow and the green wire for the simulator to send the frequency through that. Now that we've pinned it using the wiring harness, we're going to plug it into the sensor simulator and we're going to send a frequency, a square wave frequency, through the sensor, down to the wires, into the module, and then we're going to pick it up in real time on the diagnostic equipment. Now that we've plugged everything in, that we can see that the sensor simulator is sending a single hertz through the frequency and is being picked up on the diagnostic equipment. Now we know that the sensor simulator is sending a good solid signal in real time, so we know that the wiring is good and the module is good. So the next step would be to either look at the ABS sensor itself or to pick up the ABS ring. So we've cut out so much diagnostic time and so much ruling out of the wiring, the modules, and we know in real time with the sensor simulator next to our diagnostic computer that it is sending and is picking up the signals that we're giving it. Sensor simulator, yes, it can simulate the sensors, but it can also test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into a throttle body, and we're going to actuate the throttle body so we can see how far it opens on and off. So it's something where we wouldn't have to normally take it off the car, and we can test the full cycle of the throttle body without actually having to unplug it or take it apart or take it off the car. So it's a really good way to test parts, again, without taking them off the car and visually seeing that the parts are moving. One of the really big issues we're getting at the moment is AdBlue injectors. So not only are they an absolute pig to diagnose, but even when you remove them off the car, you can't get the gaskets, you can't get the clamps. So being able to test the sensor on the car or the van is absolutely great. So what we do is we leave it on the car, we connect the sensor simulator, it's got a specific AdBlue injector testing sequence, and you can plug it in 2 wires and it will fire the AdBlue injector. You can listen for a visible clicking noise, and you can actually see the AdBlue flying out the end as and when it's connected. So it's a real quick and easy way to diagnose a faulty AdBlue injector without having to take it off the car. The AJD sensor simulator, I think really it's not just a sensor simulator, it's so much more. It can test components, it rules out so much stuff when you're doing diagnostics straight away, just by quickly plugging it in. That first hour of diagnostics when you're trying to work out where I'm going with the car, it can rule out so many things that are good on the car, but also just by imitating that sensor, we've cleared the wiring, we've cleared the modules, and then we know where to look next, and it's given us confidence. So when we go and talk to the customer, this is what we know and this is what we don't know, and this little box is really handy. Absolute must-have is the wiring harness kits that go with it. It is for any auto electrician, this is the kit to have. Having everything in one place, I haven't had to make anything, I haven't had to try and bend any wires, full split pins to try and get a reading or cut wires. This kit complements this tremendously. It's lessening the risk of us actually having to take the sensors out to try and test. Just by unplugging it, I'm not disturbing anything, I'm not needing extra gaskets, I'm not snapping bolts. Especially on some of the older cars when you've got to try and get the sensors out and risk breaking them, we can test the sensor before we even touched it. So it's just saving money, it's saving time, and it's letting us talk to the customer with confidence. It's not just a sensor simulator, it gives us the ability to test actual components on the car while they're still on the car to see if they're working or not, so it rules those out as well. It's a great bit of kit, and for that first hour of diagnostics, this is the first thing I'm going to grab. So that's it. We've tried out the AJD sensor simulator. I think it was a really cool piece of kit, especially with that wiring harness, really complemented it. Please hit the link below to find out more about the AJD sensor simulator, and I'll see you in the next video.